Welcome back to the Boost English Skill Podcast, your daily English boost.
Hello, everyone. It's such a pleasure to sit down and talk with you today.
It really is. I feel like this topic is going to be very gentle and encouraging.
That's the perfect tone. Hello, Luna.
Hello, John. Always nice to share the microphone with you.
For our friends who are joining us for the first time, my name is John.
And I'm Luna. We're so happy you're here.
Today, we're talking about something that affects every part of our lives, especially language learning. The episode is called Small Habits That Build Confidence.
Small habits. We won't be talking about big, scary changes, just tiny, manageable things.
We're speaking at a B1 level today, which means clear, natural sentences and everyday storytelling.
If you're a strong beginner at an A1 or A2 level, please just relax and listen.
Let the conversation flow. Enjoy it like a cozy piece of music. Your brain is absorbing the structures.
And as always, if you find value in our podcast, please help us by liking, subscribing, and sharing.
It supports us more than you know. Thank you.
So, confidence. John, when you hear that word, what comes to mind?
I think of a feeling of being grounded, of trusting yourself to handle whatever comes your way.
Not necessarily being the loudest person in the room, but feeling secure on the inside.
Exactly. It's an inner state, and it's something we can build brick by brick with small habits.
Because we often think confidence is something you either have or you don't, like a personality trait.
But I believe it's a skill. And like any skill, you can practice it in small ways every day.
So let's start with a very foundational habit, the habit of posture.
Posture? How you sit or stand?
Yes, it sounds too simple, but our body language talks to our brain. If you slump your shoulders and look down, your brain gets the message, I am small, I am weak.
But if you sit or stand up straight, take up a little space, your brain gets a different message.
The message is, I am here, I am present. It signals safety and strength to your nervous system.
So a tiny habit could be every time you sit down at your desk, you take one deep breath and pull your shoulders back.
Or when you're waiting in line, you stand tall instead of slouching. No one notices, but your brain does.
That's a brilliant place to start. A habit that takes 2 seconds but changes your inner chemistry.
It's like telling yourself a story with your body, and eventually your mind starts to believe the story.
The second small habit is about self-talk, the words we say to ourselves in our head.
This is a huge one. For many people, the voice in their head is a critic. It points out every mistake.
The habit we can build is to notice that voice and gently correct it, not with fighting, but with redirecting.
For example, if you make a small mistake in English and you think, I'm so stupid, I'll never get this.
The habit is to pause and add one kinder sentence. I'm learning. Mistakes are part of the process.
You don't have to believe the new sentence completely at first. You just have to say it. It's a practice.
Over time, the kind voice becomes stronger, more automatic. That builds a foundation of self-respect.
And confidence is really just self-respect in action.
A third tiny habit is what I call completion, finishing one small thing you said you'd do.
Oh, that's powerful. We talked about this with self-discipline. It builds self-trust.
Yes, the habit is to set a tiny intention for the day. I will make my bed. I will water that plant.
Something so small that it's almost impossible not to do it.
And then you do it, and you get to feel, I am a person who does what they say they will do.
That feeling is a drop of confidence. Do that every day, and you have a bucket of self-trust by the end of the month.
It's proof to yourself that you are reliable, that you can count on you.
This is directly related to learning English, you know. If your tiny habit is, I will listen to 5 minutes of English today, and you do it, you've won.
You've proven to yourself that you can follow through on your English goals. That builds learning confidence specifically.
I want to ask our listeners about this.
What are you thinking?
I'm curious about their self-talk. Is the voice in their head mostly a critic or a friend?
That's a personal question, but it's so important.
If you feel comfortable, you can share in the comments. No judgment at all. We all have a critic sometimes.
Just noticing is the first step toward changing it.
Now, another small habit, eye contact, but in a gentle way.
For many people, especially in social situations or when speaking another language, eye contact feels scary.
The habit isn't to stare intensely, it's to practice soft eye contact for just 1 second longer than feels comfortable.
With a cashier, with a colleague, with a friend, you meet their gaze, you smile with your eyes, and then you can look away.
That 1 second sends a signal to your brain. I can connect. I am allowed to be seen.
It's a tiny act of bravery that builds social muscle memory. It makes the next interaction a little easier.
For English learners, practicing soft eye contact while saying hello or thank you can make the whole exchange feel more confident.
Because you're not just speaking words, you're connecting as a person. That connection feels good.
Okay, next habit, preparation, but again in a small way.
We often feel anxious because we feel unprepared. The habit is to do 1 minute of micro preparation.
If you have a meeting, spend 1 minute writing down the main points you want to say.
If you're going to a social event, think of one simple question you can ask people. What did you do this weekend?
That tiny bit of preparation gives you an anchor, something to hold on to if you feel nervous.
It's not about scripting the whole event. It's about giving yourself one tool. That tool builds confidence.
For English, it could be learning one useful phrase for a situation. Could you please repeat that? That phrase is a confidence tool.
Knowing you have it in your pocket makes you feel more secure. You're prepared for a common moment.
Another wonderful habit is the habit of appreciation, noticing one thing you did well.
At the end of the day, asking yourself, what is one thing I handled okay today?
It could be very small. I stayed calm in a long line. I answered an email I was avoiding.
The habit is to look for evidence that you are competent. We are so good at finding evidence of our failures.
This habit trains your brain to look for the wins, however tiny, and that evidence builds a confident self-image.
It's like being a detective for your own competence. Find the clues that you're doing all right.
I love that, detective for your own competence.
Now, a habit related to voice, speaking at a slightly slower pace.
When we're nervous, we tend to speak faster. Our words tumble out.
The habit is to consciously take a tiny pause before you speak, just one breath.
And then aim to speak just a little slower. It makes you sound more confident, and it makes you feel more in control.
Your brain has time to choose words. You feel less rushed, less frantic.
This is a golden habit for speaking English. Slowing down just 10% can make a huge difference in clarity and calmness.
And when you are clear and calm, you feel more confident. It's a beautiful cycle.
Let's check in with our listeners. How is your English listening going right now?
This is a conversation full of practical ideas. If you're understanding the gist, that's fantastic.
You're practicing the habit of listening, and you're learning about confidence. A double lesson today.
Now, a habit about boundaries, saying no in a small way.
This is advanced confidence, but we can start small. The habit is to pause before you automatically say yes.
When someone asks for your time or energy, you say, "Let me think about it," or "I'll check my schedule and get back to you."
That pause, that small delay, is an act of self-respect. It says your time is valuable.
You don't have to say no every time, but the habit of pausing builds the muscle of choice.
And confidence is really the ability to choose rather than just react.
Every time you pause, you reinforce the idea that you are in charge of your own time and energy.
That sense of agency is at the core of confidence.
Another small habit is about appearance, but in a simple, caring way.
Not about fashion, but about feeling put together.
The habit could be taking 1 minute in the morning to choose clothes that make you feel good.
Or simply making sure your hair is brushed, your face is washed, a tiny ritual of self-care.
When you feel cared for on the outside, it sends a message to the inside. I matter. I am worth this minute of care.
That message is quietly confident. It's not for anyone else, it's for you.
It's about aligning your outer state with the inner respect you're trying to build.
Now, a learning specific habit, the habit of curiosity over judgment.
This is huge. When you face something difficult, like a complex English grammar point, the default might be, this is too hard, I'm bad at this.
The habit is to switch that to a curious question. How does this work? Or, that's interesting, why is it like that?
Curiosity is a confident state. It assumes you can learn, you can figure things out.
Judgment is a closed state. It shuts down learning. Cultivating curiosity is a habit that builds learning confidence directly.
So in your next study session, try to approach one problem with pure curiosity. See how it feels.
It feels lighter, more open, more confident.
Let's talk about the habit of celebration, acknowledging your small wins.
We're quick to dismiss small successes. Oh, it was nothing.
The habit is to literally say, sometimes out loud, good job, when you finish a task, when you have a good interaction.
You can even give yourself a tiny physical reward, a special cup of tea after you finish your English listening.
This habit wires your brain to associate effort with reward. It makes the process feel good.
And when the process feels good, you're more likely to keep going. Confidence grows from consistent action.
Now, a subtle habit, the habit of assuming goodwill.
Ooh, that's a psychological one. Assuming that other people are not judging you harshly.
When you walk into a room, instead of thinking, they're all looking at me, the habit is to think, these are just people like me.
Most people are thinking about themselves, not about you. Assuming they are friendly or neutral reduces social anxiety.
This habit creates a safer mental environment for you to be in, and in a safe environment, confidence can grow.
For English conversations, assuming the other person wants to understand you takes so much pressure off.
It allows you to focus on communicating, not on performing perfectly.
We've listed so many habits: posture, self-talk, completion, eye contact, preparation, appreciation, pace, boundaries, self-care, curiosity, celebration, assuming goodwill.
It's a toolkit, but the key is to not try them all at once. That would be overwhelming.
Pick one, just one, that feels easy and interesting. Practice it for 2 weeks.
When it starts to feel automatic, maybe add a second one. This is the step-by-step process.
Confidence is built in the small, daily repetitions, not in one giant leap.
It's like each tiny habit is a single thread. Alone, it's weak, but woven together day after day, they create a strong rope of self-confidence.
That rope can then support you in big moments: a job interview, a presentation, a conversation in English.
Because you've trained your brain and body through countless small actions to believe in your own capability.
And this applies so beautifully to the journey of learning English. Every small listening session, every new word learned, is a thread in that rope.
You're not just building language skills, you're building your identity as a capable language learner.
That identity is the most confident thing of all.
I think we should talk about patience again. These habits don't work like a light switch.
They work like a sunrise, very slowly. The darkness lifts, and you don't notice the exact moment it becomes day.
But one morning, you look around and realize you can see clearly. You realize you feel different.
That's the goal. Gentle, gradual change.
What if you have a bad day and forget all your habits?
That's the most important time for the habit of self-compassion. It's okay. I'll start again tomorrow.
Confidence isn't about never falling. It's about knowing you can get back up.
And these small habits are the practice of getting back up, over and over, until it becomes your nature.
We're coming to the end of our conversation. I feel very peaceful about this topic.
Me too. It feels hopeful. Everyone can do something small today.
Let's summarize. Confidence is a skill built through tiny daily habits.
Start with one. Maybe posture, maybe one kind sentence to yourself.
Be consistent, be patient, celebrate your tiny wins.
Remember that this process is perfect for your English journey. Every small step in English is also a step in confidence.
We believe in your ability to build a more confident you, one small habit at a time.
Thank you for spending this time with us. Your commitment to learning is itself a confident act.
If this episode resonated with you, please help us by liking and subscribing to the Boost English Skill podcast.
Sharing it with someone who might need a confidence boost is a wonderful gesture. Thank you.
We'll be back soon with more calm and cozy conversations to support your growth.
Until then, pick one tiny habit. Be kind to yourself. You've got this.
Have a confident week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.